Live from New York at the home of the Knicks, it's the NBA. Good evening and welcome to tonight's presentation of Noche La NBA, an annual tradition in the NBA celebrating diversity and culture, and always a pleasure to bring it to you. Hi everyone, Kevin Harlan with me tonight, Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony, and Allie LaForce is reporting on the sidelines. Just a single game at home. After this one, it's back on the road for the Knicks. It's stolen by Gobert. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Well, you got to love the finger roll. Always looks so smooth.
So Coach Van Gundy, after 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards, his last coming in 2024, do you think Rudy Gobert has a chance at another?
Well, look, Kevin, I think Rudy continues to play at just as high a level defensively. But now as the game has changed, I think we're starting to reward guys with those awards who can not only protect the rim and make it tough on teams, but can go out on the perimeter and guard multiple positions. So I think it'll be tough for him to get a fifth.
First quarter, just over a minute played. Spurs passing it around. Pass to Johnson. Johnson draws the double. Now flag. Johnson in the corner. 6 on the shot clock. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. Count that one. Wembanyama's got 5.
And I like when Wembanyama is aggressive on offense because defenses feel helpless to stop him.
Here's Knipple. New York, no good that time either.
That is fantastic defense on one of the best three-point shooters in the league. Didn't give him an inch of room. Wow, that is just pretty right there. What a find for his teammate at the rim.
Cunningham for 3.
And the wingspan of Wembanyama, massive. He's fantastic at using it to erase shots. Playing with high energy, outworking the defense up the floor.
Yeah, the commitment to run is paying great dividends on the break.
For the Knicks, it's been a slow start here. It's a 5-point game. To the paint, here's Gobert, and finished off by Gobert.
Well, that's why you feed Gobert near the rim. He makes the most of those easy opportunities.
Wembanyama left side. Bridges outside. 5 to shoot. Pass to Wembanyama. Rudy Gobert with the rebound.
Well, that wasn't a bad shot. Defense playing a little loose there. Sometimes it just doesn't go in.
And now let's send it over to our courtside reporter, Allie LaForce.
Hey, Victor Wembanyama is trying to gain strength, but he said it's important not to lose your mobility. So bulking up is not a good word. It's more being stable. That's the way to keep going. I don't need to bulk up. I need to get my core stronger. I need to get solid. Back to you guys.
That approach makes sense. All right, Allie, thank you for the report. Here's Drexler after the basket by San Antonio. Knipple wide open, and he fires. And a great assist by Drexler as that one goes in.
So lethal off the catch. Knipple is good at just finding space and then timing it quickly.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Yeah, his athleticism more than makes up for his lack of size. Allows him to compete even against bigger guys.
Now here's Drexler after Magic Johnson's miss. Gobert the screen. Cunningham with it. Now defended by Flag. And the foul called on Cade Cunningham. That is his first foul of the game. The Spurs with the lead. And here is Johnson. And he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. Bridges outside with the drive.
And earlier in his career, Bridges was tentative about putting the ball on the floor. Not anymore.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And I like what he did at the line a season ago. How about 81%?
And Mitch Johnson, Stan, now taking over full-time as head coach of the Spurs.
Well, look, Mitch Johnson's the son of an NBA player and a high-level point guard in college. He knows how to run a team and favors that pace and space style.
Cunningham outside. Down low. And stolen by Flag. To the middle. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Back to Cunningham. Screen by Riggin. And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. Spurs lead by 6. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a minute. Welcome back, everyone. It's Noche Latina in the NBA as we resume action. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for San Antonio.
Well, they're playing with great pace, pushing the ball up the floor and attacking before the defense can get set.
And the other thing, I love how they're playing up tonight, getting into ball handlers and forcing some turnovers.
Jenkins. And the layup fall. Jenkins got his first basket of the night.
Easy shot for him. They'll take that every time up the floor.
And really, that's the brilliance of Jordan, just denying those shots there with tremendous power.
The putback. Cunningham left side. And the 3 off target. San Antonio leading by 4. Pass to Diabate. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. And, Coach, for teams defending the pick and roll, you often hear coaches talking about being at the level. What does that mean?
Well, Kevin, what it means is the guy guarding the screener, the defender guarding the screener, has to be all the way up with that guy at the point of the screen, as opposed to being in drop coverage where the guy defending the screener will lay back.
And Quentin Grimes gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. And so Mitch Johnson decides to call timeout. He's going to make some adjustments to the game plan.
Way to go, everyone. Let's hear it for you. Substitution on the court.
And around a minute gone here in the second quarter. Clock at 6. Cunningham's shot is off.
And we talk about the importance of protecting the rim. Right there, outstanding defense.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. And he gets the bucket.
Great touch there from Cunningham. He's so skilled.
You know, Stan, you look at Wembanyama's frame. Does he need to get any stronger? Put on more muscle, more bulk?
Well, Kevin, of course he could use to improve on his strength. But he's strong enough right now to be one of the best players in the league. We've seen that. But as he gets older, a lot of that strength's just going to come naturally. The scary thing is for coaches and players around the league, not on his team, this guy's just going to keep getting better.
Wembanyama, no good. And it's Cunningham with the ball for the New York Knicks. In the second quarter, they've given up just 3 points. And it's Wiggins missing. It's tipped. It's stolen by Gobert. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Six to shoot. Inside. Oh, and he pops it off the glass. Wow.
An elite rim protector. Wemby's height and freakish wingspan allow him to just wipe shots away.
And so Mike Brown calls a timeout. Coach needs a moment to talk things over.
Let's hear it for your Knicks.
So it's the Spurs now. Here's Porter. And that one drops.
Porter Jr.
How about 3 minutes gone in the second quarter of basketball? Let's check in now with our Allie LaForce, who's got a story for us. Allie?
Thank you. The Spurs are on the rise. Victor Wembanyama said, quote, "I've been on board since day one. We know it's not going to be a straight line. There will be ups and downs. This is not easy, but I'm very confident in the will that my guys have. The long term is never being questioned." Back to you.
They'll get there for sure. All right, Allie, thank you for the report. Here's the screen. Pass to Diabate. DeAndre Jordan grabs the miss. New York trailing. And G.A., you started your career with the Knicks. What memories do you have from your time in New York?
Well, after winning the championship in college, it was great to play for a team in the NBA that had similar aspirations. So many great veterans to learn from and a Hall of Fame coach.
Yep, it counts. Diabate's got 5 now.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Here's LeVert. Yes, that goes in. LeVert's got the game tied up here for New York.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
And Porter comes to help. Here's LeVert. 6 points for him. That doesn't go in. Had a chance, though, to take the lead. Here's Diabate. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Well, he's a bit of an undersized center. However, his leaping ability can certainly mask that.
Here's Murray Boyle. Finished off the break. Now it's a 4-point San Antonio lead.
Yeah, and the advanced pass there set it all up. Scanning ahead for the early offense opportunity.
LeVert inside the line. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. New York shooting their first free throws of this one. No good on the second free throw. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. It's San Antonio leading by 3. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway. And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. And thus far in his career, GA, Victor Wembanyama is averaging well over 3 blocks per game.
Matter of fact, if he can maintain this rate, he's on pace to average the most blocks of any player in NBA history, surpassing the towering Mark Eaton.
Drexler left side. Pass to Knippel. To the inside. And the shot goes in from Rudy Gobert. Gobert's got 6 points.
Yeah, inside, Gobert can be a true monster. Using his size and reach. Very effective.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Yeah, I like how they're establishing their interior presence right away. That's going to collapse the defense and create other opportunities.
And again, New York turns it over.
Yeah, what a disconnect. Sloppy play like that is something they can expect to come up in the film session.
And so Mike Brown calls a timeout. Looking for a breather and maybe adjusting a thing or two.
Make some noise.
Spurs leading by 5. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. Pass to Wembanyama. Here's Drexler. Good, and the assist goes to Cunningham. Drexler's got his second basket of the night.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Well, they have leaned on him offensively with good reason. Efficiency will help you win a lot of games.
Outside, Drexler. And there's the drive. And finished off by Drexler.
A high flyer, yet it's seemingly effortless in terms of how he just swoops in to the basket. Clyde the Glide in full effect.
Here's Flag. Offensive rebound. Wembanyama comes up empty down low. Knicks trailed by 3. Drexler inside. Rebounded by the Spurs.
Come on, you can't be doing that. I know these guys want to put on a show, but you can't pass up scoring opportunities.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two. And 10 of their last 12 coming off assists.
Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Here's Gobert, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to be on Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, when Gobert gets deep positioning like that, sometimes you're better off just sending him to the line.
Wow, what, did he have something in his eye on that shot?
Maybe. Pass to Flag. Back to Johnson, to the middle. It's stolen by Gobert. Now Knipple. Cunningham looking it over. With the shot. Finds himself wide open and drills it. Cunningham's got his second bucket.
Well, he's always on the hunt. Cunningham's next shot is never far off.
Not the biggest fan of that shot, but he had the space to get it off, so why not?
And from season to season, Coach, DeMar DeRozan remains incredibly consistent.
Yeah, look, he's consistent because he's extremely professional. This guy's always in shape, always ready to play. He knows what his game is, and he plays to that game. Something of a throwback because his game's built on the mid-range shooting, but everybody could use a DeMar DeRozan on their team.
And so Mike Brown calls a timeout. Coach is going to talk some things over with the team. Might be seeing something to adjust. Now, here's Johnson. And he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on shooting.
Outside, Drexler. And good that time. Drexler's got 8 points. Spurs leading by 6. Pass to Johnson. To the paint. And stolen by Jordan. Here's Murray Boyle. San Antonio again turning it over.
That's a careless pass and a wasted possession. That's just unnecessary.
San Antonio making a switch here. There's 31 seconds left in the third quarter. Clyde Drexler on the wing. Puts one up from 19. Pass to Newell. And the foul called on Cooper Flag. That'll be his second foul of the game. And so Mike Brown calls a timeout. He's ready to talk things through with them. Victor Wembanyama really making a difference here.
Well, now the question is, how do you scheme this guy? Try to take the ball out of his hands? Bring a second defender? I'm curious to see what they do.
And New York making a change here. 16 seconds left in the third. Cunningham with it. And he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. And that one's good. Wiggins. And so Mitch Johnson decides to call timeout. He's going to have a discussion on the sideline.
And as fans and broadcasters, we're not permitted to hear the specifics in these huddles.
Well, as a coach, you want to cover just one or two major points. That way guys can absorb it and go out and execute.
And so Mitch Johnson decides to call timeout. Coach is going to take a few minutes to regroup and go over the strategy. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Spurs lead by 4. And coming up as soon as...
The Spurs, 42.
3/10 quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the 4th. And it's Cunningham with the ball for the New York Knicks. Trailing by 4. Next game for them, they'll take on the Raptors at Toronto. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip. Pass to Knueppel. Shot clock at 6. Down low. Gobert can't hit.
Doesn't register as a block, but he did everything you want defending that shot.
Well, you know, sometimes the most pivotal plays don't always go on the stat sheet.
In the corner, Knueppel with it. Rebound, San Antonio. Here's Johnson. Cunningham with some nice D.
That's a defender doing just enough to cause a miss on the layup.
Knueppel with the bucket.
Well, Knueppel projects as an elite shooter whose range and quick release make him a constant threat.
Spurs working the ball around now. Johnson outside. It's stolen by Gobert. And now we've got the intentional foul. And so it's Mitch Johnson calling timeout. Wants to make sure everybody's coordinated and intent. Right now, let's take a moment here to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sidelines.
Over the last break, I listened in on Mitch Johnson's huddle. Coach wasn't very animated in this tight game, but asked this of his team: how bad do you want it? Right now, this is all about who wants it more. So go out there and take it, you guys.
Thank you once again, Allie. They double-team Johnson. Wembanyama high post. Over Wiggins. Wembanyama, no good. New York trailing. Cunningham outside. Now Gobert. And the foul called on Victor Wembanyama. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Second team foul.
Now Drexler. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jalen Suggs. That is his first foul of the game.
And now only one away from being in the penalty.
Now Cunningham. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jalen Suggs. That's foul number 2 for him.
14th foul.
And here's Cunningham to take the lead. Buries the jumper.
Well, this is what he does. A proven scorer in the clutch.
Wembanyama left side. Here's Flag. Johnson outside. Just 5 to shoot. Now Flag. The putback. Saves him with the putback.
You gotta love seeing Wembanyama get assertive in an important moment.
Cunningham outside. Oh, it is not finished. The alley-oop. Oh, Magic Johnson playing big.
And coming down the stretch here, both teams still on fire.
Yeah, in hopes that your opponent is just going to go cold. That's not going to happen, it doesn't look like in this one. This might go down to whoever has the last possession. Well, they needed those. He stayed calm and got it done.
And Mike Brown decides to call timeout. It's a chance for them to regroup and refocus. Gobert, the screen. Shoots. Got it to go.
Well, Cunningham is a big-time, big-moment player. This team leans on him.
Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Now, Wembanyama. Oh, no good on the dunk.
And priority number one has got to be the finish, guys, not the fancy stuff.
And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason. I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
Talking about the first pick of the draft, rookie Cooper Flagg, he's got a diverse skill set and is so mature for a teenager.
Now Wiggins. Blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. Here's Flagg. Wembanyama. Gobert there for the rebound.
Well, if you give him that shot again, I'm willing to bet he nails it, especially with that lack of defensive effort.
That is world class.
Yeah, and I can say from experience, his coach just breathed a huge sigh of relief.
Johnson double teamed. Now Wembanyama. Wembanyama with that soft touch around the rim.
Well, that's the leadership and clutch instinct they always want to see from Wembanyama.
Outside Cunningham. Takes it inside. It falls!
Cunningham's teammates and coaches trusting him in a big spot.
Rising up and ripping down the two-hand jam.
Yeah, a nice, strong finish on the inside.
But Greg, that's what he does. He's got the dunker mentality. And Mike Brown decides to call timeout. And he knows there's no room for mistakes and wants everyone on the same page. Any ideas on strategy being discussed right now in that huddle?
And it's do or die time. They need a bucket here to stay alive.
Yeah, the clock is their enemy and they know it. We'll see if they go for the tie or try and get a quick one.
There's a screen. This would tie it. And so it's San Antonio who scraped by with the win. This win, such a tremendous emotional boost for them.
Really an accomplishment and crazy finish to take a road game like this and simply deflate an entire building.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast.